I'm guessing at this point it's time to stop playing around with other things and actually start looking at him. That's all I'm gonna say. Him, because, well, it's him. Better question being, why couldn't I actually see him in here? He has 20 more armor, 25 more energy, 25 more shields, so more survivable. But I'm pretty sure I've had the Limbo for long enough that, yeah, his polarities are probably all completely messed up. Whereas this guy, probably not. And for the record, those who've actually seen yesterday's video, which was the Distressor Prime, yeah, I've actually just formatted that. I'm not leveling that up at the same time, I've just formatted it and was about to level it up, and yeah, I can't put him off anymore. Whoa! A V, a dash, another V, and a D. Ooh. Okay. He could go really well, especially with that dash polarity in his aura slot. I keep forgetting primes come with more polarities, and every time I look at them it's, why don't more weapons come like this? And all of his abilities work just like the normal Limbo. As expected, it's just a prime, so banish sends enemies or allies into... It does word it as the out of Limbo's current plane of existence, so if you're not in the void, it will void them. If you're in the void, it will unvoid them. Stasis, stasis, whatever. It basically freezes anybody that's in the rift. Rift Surge is actually where things start to get interesting with him, because obviously it can cause many cataclysms, and it just really is his party piece. That, and of course Cataclysm itself. But you can only Rift Surge enemies who are already in the rift, and it basically just covers them in energy, and yeah, if you kill them in the rift, it transfers that rift to enemies nearby. And if I remember rightly, the mini cataclysms is actually from anybody who dies inside of a cataclysm has a chance of creating a mini one, or that was an augment. If I'm honest here, I cannot actually remember, because I don't use Limbo that much. He was fun when he came out, he's still a pretty useful frame, but almost every single time you use them, everybody's always the same. Oh, stop using the bubble, stop using your rift. Okay, if you don't use the rift, you can't use stasis, you can't use Rift Surge. What's the point in bringing him? A lot of people see him as a bit of a troll frame, and yeah, there are those. But there are also those who use Nova in the same way, and those who use other frames in trolly kind of ways. So it's not really fair on him. Limbo has always been a really good frame. He is really good at doing what he does, and since his rework, he is even better at it. You just have to realise you're playing with a Limbo and hope you have somebody who knows how to use a Limbo, unlike me, who made a fool of myself quite a few times trying to do it, and then realising I'd actually swapped to the second tab, which didn't have any mods on, and was actually just making a complete fool of myself. Luckily I didn't catch that one when I was recording. His abilities all work really well together, and yes, he is one of those frames that will probably just be used for mastery fodder, which is a shame because, as I said before, he is a useful frame. He has his purposes, he does them really well. The only major downside I've ever come across with Limbo is, since his rework, his passive is every time you roll, you don't roll, you dodge and enter the rift. This is kind of problematic because you're leaving rift openings everywhere. Great if you're playing with people and you are able to talk to them and they know that you're not doing it on purpose, it's just you tried to roll out the way, or you've dodged something and you accidentally left a rift behind, or you've done it on purpose so people can go into it. Whereas, and this is where I think it was his rework, I went into the plains. No, it wasn't his rework, it was something after that, but I went to the plains with him, and yeah, used to rolling and jumping and all the rest of it with him there, and was shouted at there as well because I'm leaving these things and people following me kept going into them. Not my fault. Should have not been following my exact lines and jumping through the portals that he's creating while I'm rolling in midair. The same goes for anybody else who does it. As long as you pay attention and you know there's a Limbo in your party, you can play around that, which is great. I love playing with other Limbos. He is, again, can't really argue this one, he is a really useful frame. He's just been given a really bad reputation. But reputation aside, well worth getting him because he looks so much better. That added... Oh, and now I actually think about it, I actually can't remember. The higher shields, higher armor, and higher energy, the 2 additional polarities, are all really good. Okay, he's Mastery Rank 4 now instead of Mastery Rank 0, but he is well worth getting a hold of. He really is useful. He's good for defense missions as well, because if you void the... You put a rift bubble up, kind of like I do Frost Bubble, and then stasis it. When the enemies run into it, they stop. And if you're inside of it, you can take them out really easily. This is why I keep saying, very useful frame, really bad reputation. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. No, I didn't go into builds with him because, if I'm brutally honest, my build sucks. Like, next level suck, because I just couldn't get him to work the way that I wanted him to, so I may in the future do a Limbo build because I've seen some amazing builds, but for some reason when I try to do that, everything goes terribly wrong. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.